Good morning, Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. I thought we'd take a little drive this morning across the planet. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, and 802 Honda, all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. We're looking at current temperatures right now across the planet, and we'll take a look. You can see the coldest air is up in Greenland, parts of eastern Eurasia, and here and there. But when you compare to normal, well, we'll come back to that in a little bit here. Let's take a little drive around the world. You can see Africa, and these are the current temperatures, Fahrenheit, Celsius, and so forth. Pretty cold east of Europe. They're experiencing a very warm start to winter so far in Europe, as to be expected, with a lot of flow coming in off the warmer waters of the Atlantic. We have a positive version of the North Atlantic Oscillation, that is the polar vortex, is fairly strong, and it's going to be strong after having some Arctic air dip down. Jet stream is very zonal. Looking at the rest of Asia, you can see the coldest air is locked in Siberia right now. Some of that cold air has been making it down and almost to the Himalayas. Parts of China have been seeing cold weather, but not always. Looking at the Pacific side of things, you can see just how warm it is here. And of course, marginally cold, chilly in Alaska to be expected, and through the Rockies, but actually they're well above normal as well. We'll get to that in a second. Looking at the bottom part of the world, Antarctica, and you can see the temperatures there. Oh wait, okay, let's check anomalous, or temperature anomaly, and you can see compared to normals, average baseline roughly, what is it, 1980 to 2010. So it's colder than normal across the Greenland ice sheet. That's good news there, except in the northern areas. The Arctic remains still incredibly warm. Look at just how warm it is. Fahrenheit in the Arctic, 36 degrees above the usual or the average or the mean. Look at the cold in offset displaced cold air in parts of Eurasia. Temperatures in that minus 36, so that we're talking 36 degrees colder than normal. They're already real cold, of course, on the 21st of December. Let's take a little drive and take a different look at it. You can see where it's warm, where it's cold. This is the area's eastern parts of Europe, seeing cold weather. And notice, marginally chilly. Warm up in the Sahara. Look at how warm it is today, though, in Mongolia. Incredible. China, eastern China, very warm, above normal in temperature. Some of that cold trying to make inroads into the region, but it's not going to be able to do that because, I'll show you why here in a second, you can see even Antarctica is above normal in temperature, slightly colder on some of the coastal areas. And that ring around Antarctica where the ice has been flowing and then producing meltwater, cold meltwater. All right, what about sea surface temperatures? Let's take a look at that. Pretty cold stuff, as you can see, in the Pacific right now. Less than 50 degrees to be expected. Great Lakes, pretty warm though. And you can see the Gulf Stream interacting here and so forth. Very warm. Indonesia, western side of the Pacific, very, very warm. Eastern Pacific, you can see the La Nina here. Colder than normal sea surface temperatures in the subtropics. And so forth. Okay, what about temperature anomalies? Cold. This is very indicative of the Pacific Decadal Oscillation and the positive phase here. We got warm all the way up into Greenland. This is part of what's been melting the ice. Temperature is well above normal around Svalbard and north of Iceland. Here's the Gulf Stream. Temperatures are well above normal. Another look at the Atlantic. Look at the Mediterranean. Parts below normal, parts above normal. That's, of course, in the areas east of Turkey, the Caspian. Look at how warm it is. Asian look. Look at how warm it is north in the Kara, Barents Sea area. There's a good picture of La Nina right now. And off of South America, a little bit further off to the south, you can see them very warm spots next to colder spots. That's interesting there. So this signature is looking at mean sea level pressure, and you can see that most of low pressure centers are in the northern Arctic region. This is part of the reason why it's so warm here, is we have strong low pressure that continues to move up, and on its eastern flank produce warmer water and warmer air temperatures into the Arctic. So this is a positive version of the Arctic Oscillation, also a positive version of the North Atlantic Oscillation. Both favor warmer than normal temperatures and a Pacific jet stream to drive across North America. Very zonal jet stream, and a little bit of a subtropical jet here, a little split in the action. Pretty strong polar jet continues, and then out into the open Pacific. Southern jet. Wanted to examine the snow depths, and this is from the Polar Orbiter this morning, first day of winter, and you could see some decent snows, some parts of the Colorado Rockies and whatnot. Also the Uintas, as well as the Wasatch, east of Salt Lake City. That extends down into some parts of southern Utah as well. What about the Mogollon Rim? They were better. They've lost some snow there. So let's head out to the west. There's the Sierra. Doesn't look like much in the San Gabriel, San Bernardinos, San Jacinto's region. However, Sierra looks a lot better. And I know where the snow has really been falling. And this is up in the Cascades region. This is Mount Lassen. Yes, this is Lassen. And you can see decent snow in the northern Cascades, and of course the coastal mountains of British Columbia, even on Vancouver Island. Sun Valley, Idaho region. Back up a little bit. So that's here. And then the Bitterroots. And then east of the Bitterroots. And also around Banff and Lake Louise. So some pretty impressive snows, greater than 60 inches of snow total on snow depths. And looking at the northeast United States, you can see Great Lakes region. Pretty limited here in the Champlain Valley, but it does extend almost all the way down into the northern suburbs of New York City. Also, just north of Boston. Best snow, coastal effects, parts of Quebec, Gaspé Peninsula. And that concludes our tour. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.